We got Gino, Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Day for yes, the Daniel Jones.
That one's gonna be big.
It's incredible.
Okay. So we have all that. We have March Madness. I'm not even gonna talk. Like, I'll talk about my trip at the beginning for like a second, but I was thinking I could do a little like YouTube video. If people want to hear about my trip.
Yeah.
I think that could be a good idea. I'm not sure restream's not even. Ugh.
What?
So nothing. Just the streaming software is not even up that I'm using.
Devin McCourty retired. I didn't see that.
Yep. Yep.
When did Robbie Anderson change his name to Chosen?
Chosen Anderson. I don't know. It was earlier, like a couple weeks ago, I believe. What a bum. Changed his name to Chosen.
It's a bum.
We have Lamar, which is still a non-story, which is annoying.
Yeah.
All right, I have. There's things that just keep happening, and I don't know if these are updated or not. Oh, I just reset it. No. Oh, I don't want. There we go. All right. And I'm gonna keep Twitter up because it might keep going right now. All right, so we are up. We're live.
All right.
Good to advertise. So we'll start with the first overall pick. We'll go to. I mean, that's just gonna open up a can. Like, that's all right. We'll just see what happens because it's gonna be pretty chaotic.
Be like a 2-hour episode, I think.
Oh, easily hour 30. This is coming in for a huge.
Yeah.
All right. Let me send out this link and we're good to go.
Pretty boring font.
Yeah. Did you see it? I don't know if it's changed yet. If you're watching, because that was the old one. It's still pretty boring.
Oh.
So don't get your hopes up. I don't know why it hasn't changed on this yet. All right.
Oh, we're 50-50 for top 5 multiplayers.
Nice. Pretty wise list then.
The Showerman voted for me.
me tweet this. Always gotta remember to tweet. I tweeted out the. Oh, you saw it. The tournament challenge.
Oh yeah.
All right, you ready? Let's get this started. In 2 seconds. Let me get my cup of coffee right here. A little swig in.
You got coffee?
Yeah, I need something to perk me up a little bit. So I made a midday coffee. I didn't have it this morning, so.
Oh yeah.
God, I said midday.
Oh, if you don't have it in the morning, then you're dead by like 2 o'clock.
And I'm on Europe time right now.
Oh, still?
Nah, not really, but I can use an excuse for like another day.
Yeah.
All right, you ready? Let's get this started. And actually, wait, say something real quick.
Oh, hello.
All right, you're good. You're actually golden. I love it. All right.
Golden?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right, get ready in 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys podcast. I am your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
To be back.
It's been a while. So
It's been a while.
It's been since I think last Friday we ended up uploading the top 5 March players. So it's been a week. It's been a nice week for myself. I was out in Scotland, Ireland, and Great Britain, but we do not have time to cover all that today. And I'm gonna try to make a little YouTube video explaining my trip, all the quirks and everything about it. So look forward to that if you want to listen to what my trip was about. But as I just said, we got a lot to talk about today, Chris. It's been a week, and it's already started free agency. The bracket's out. We missed a good amount. So, and before we get started, Chris, how's your week been?
Too bad. We got spring break coming up in a week, so I'm excited for that. Kind of the final push.
Mm-hmm.
But I got March Madness and spring break at once, so it's a pretty damn good time in the year.
Oh, that doesn't get much better than that.
It does not.
All right. Well, the first thing we're going to start out with is all the NFL deals that have happened so far, and we're going to start out with number 1, Chris, and number 1 being the number 1 pick in the NFL draft, and the Chicago Bears have traded down with the Charlotte Hornets, or not Charlotte Hornets. God, Carolina Panthers. God, what is wrong with me? Anyways, Chris, what was your initial reaction to this?
I think it makes sense on both sides. Like, we knew that the Bears were going to trade this pick. That was not surprising at all. Expectation is, I feel like, 3 1s generally. They got 2 1s and DJ Moore, which DJ Moore could have gone for a first-round pick. So I think they got a lot out of it. They got, which pick was it? Number 9.
Yep, they got
24 first-rounder, DJ Moore, and then they got 2 2s as well. So
Yep.
They got a haul for it. They stayed in the top 10. I think it was a great deal for them. Carolina, like, this is our team again, I think. We're done with the Darnold. We're done with the Baker. Done with the 2 gloves. Like, go get your guy. I don't know. I think it's Stroud. I think that's what the odds say. I think that's what, like, the rumors and the fit on the team says. But at some point, like, I put your balls to the wall and make a move, right?
Yeah, and we've seen the past couple years, they were in reports for Matthew Stafford when that was all going to fruition. They were in reports for Deshaun Watson last year. So clearly the owner has wanted to secure this quarterback spot and have it be a solid player that they're ready to build their franchise around. And this is going to be that guy. Whether you said it's CJ Stroud or Anthony Richardson, it seems like those are the two major possibilities right now. And I totally agree. I think it's a great compensation back. You might have tried to, like, if you're a Panthers fan, you're really bummed out. You're missing DJ Moore now. But as you said, normally it's 3 first-round picks. You just save that 2025 first-round pick and send it over with DJ Moore.
And like also you get an upgrade offensively. You got probably your number one position in need, Chicago. I guess everything's a position in need, but when you have the young quarterback that you're committing to, it's receivers and it's O-line.
Yeah.
So you were able to get somebody proven at one of those positions. I think that's huge.
What I like about this too is, like, we've seen this model with young quarterbacks succeeding. For example, the Philadelphia Eagles this year, going to the Super Bowl with surrounding all they can around Jalen Hurts. You have a guy who, this is a bet on Fields, but it also doesn't force you into Fields. You can still have the 5th year with him. You still have this year under contract, and you could play it out, see how it works. Then you have extra assets in the next 2 drafts where, say, Fields doesn't work, you can try to trade up for a guy that better suits your needs. I think it's a perfect way to surround young assets. I think this is what every team should be doing, and I'm ready to see where this goes, because DJ Moore, if you didn't see after the reports, his receiving yards so far in his career would have been the most on Bears history, which is pretty damn sad.
That is ridiculous.
And the other 2 guys, I'm pretty sure that he beat out, were both running backs, which is also pretty sad.
Forte?
Forte.
One of them.
And I don't know the other one, but I know if Matt Forte's on there. So, yeah.
Well, the only issue with Carolina is that we just said it with Fields, that he needs guys at those positions, proven guys. You just dump one of them, unfortunately. But like that, I think they have cap space. But you got to, I feel like, bring in agent receiver, use the draft, and hopefully you can at least give out some help, if that's who it is.
Yeah, and I think that's just going to have to be, they have a couple young guys. They have Terrence Marshall. They have Shi Smith, who were good in college. They were, I have some bias towards Shi Smith.
Boy.
Yeah, I thought he was great. But you see those guys, you could try to integrate whoever you draft with them and try to sign some veteran wide receivers to help them out. And I'm not too worried about it. That first year with the quarterback, when you trade up like this, is always going to be kind of a shit show. So we'll see how that goes in. And you're right, they do have cap space, so they can go out and get another big name wide receiver if they choose to. I don't know what, like, the free agent market is. Now that Jacoby Myers is out, it's Odell Beckham, it's Alan Lazard. It's really not anyone. Mecole Hardman, I heard, was linked to Carolina a little bit, but other than that, you got to go with some younger guys, which, youth. You have a good defense. You get youth on the offense. Hopefully, works out in a couple years.
Grow together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Remember, like, how excited I was when we had Haskins, McLaurin, and Steven Sims, and, like, all the young guys on offense. Didn't quite work out, but
yeah,
you have a bunch of young guys. You can at least say, like, these guys, like, they're gonna come up together, like, the future. So, worst case scenario, it's exciting.
Yeah, hopefully they build that connection. And worst case scenario is that it just doesn't work out and you trade for some big name wide receiver. All right. And for which was that, apparently the Panthers might also trade down. So that would be kind of funny if they, like, maybe Stroud is in their guy and they think they can get Richardson at 2 or 3. Try to bait a couple teams. Yeah, I'm kind of for with just risking it with Richardson. Like, I know Stroud is a good QB. I've talked to a bunch of Panthers. Well, I've talked to 2 Panthers fans that have different mindsets. One is all in on Stroud, which we should hopefully get in a future episode. Mr. Nick Merton, if you've heard him on the show before, and the other one was like, I'm kind of down for Richardson. All these teams, they have the stable quarterback that isn't really going to take you anywhere. If you want that explosive guy, the next Josh Allen or whatever, the only thing that worries me about me is that if you put Richardson in this situation, is it just going to be a complete shit show?
Yeah. Also, wasn't that good. He's super
Yeah.
athletic.
Yeah, but neither was Josh Allen.
That Allen was better than this.
Yeah, I agree on that. And it's also
I mean, you probably watched Florida more than I did, being in the SEC.
a little bit more. I've seen his highlights and
But
tapes and stuff, so yeah, he has had some rough games. Don't get me wrong. All right. Well, we don't have a lot of time to pander and wander on these things, so we gotta move.
that'll be wise mock stuff.
Yep. So we gotta move on off to the free agency. And the first domino that happened, it almost seemed like middle of the week last week. Derek Carr going to the Saints for 4 years, $150 million. I hate it. I hate it.
It's just like it feels like a big nothing burger.
That you're
I don't
signing.
know, like how much better do you get with Carr, and like I don't know, even with Jameis.
So, and they also, which is weird, so they re-signed Jameis as well. So they have Jameis as the backup to Derek Carr. And my mindset is, you have last year they had Andy Dalton starting all those games, and now you're paying a black-eyed Andy Dalton $150 million, and I don't see that big of an upgrade at all.
Yeah, I mean, like I've kind of gone back and forth on Carr, and it just like it feels like Kirk Cousins,
Yeah,
or like you're paying a lot of money for it, and it's just not like it's almost like you're paying for stability. Like he'll be your guy, and he doesn't suck. Might make the playoffs, and you don't have to worry about finding a new quarterback. But that's about like that's your ceiling.
he's
Right?
never.
Like he's not putting the team on his back. He's not taking you to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and he's never even won a playoff game. He's been into it twice.
Yeah.
He's 0-2. I think one of the times he was injured, but still can't win a playoff game. And I just don't. You're right. I don't see the ceiling here. What is the ceiling? I can see the floor. The floor is looking fine, but the ceiling is there's some icicles on there. It's pretty damp and gross and dirty. Um. Anyways, yeah. So that's where they're going with the quarterback situation. That kind of started the baseline for the next couple quarterbacks, and including a great deal for the Washington Commanders. Daniel Jones back on the Giants, $160 million a year. I know you're ecstatic about
Oh
it, so
my
you
gosh,
take the reins.
I wept tears of joy. I mean, it was so perfect because it worked out just the way that thought that it might, which was like as just as good enough of a year to sell Giants fans on him and sell the front office on him. And the icing on the cake was the playoff win. Like, he was so good in that game that people were like, "Oh, maybe Daniel Jones is good." Like, it's such recency bias, and he was so atrociously bad in the game against the Eagles, but people don't even care. They weren't supposed to be there, and they won a game. This contract is ridiculous. 4 years, $160 million is insanity.
And
Daniel Jones.
as a preference for the rest of these free agents, I think there's 2 void deals or 2 void years on this, so they can kind of get out of it after
Yes,
year
there are.
2. And it's not as ludicrous as it says, but still, it is. Danny Dimes is now Danny $40 million a year, and when you're paying for that, he had the breakout year, exactly what his agent, exactly what they wanted, and the biggest issue was they couldn't franchise tag him because they had to franchise tag Saquon, and last year when they declined the 5th-year option, that is what led to this now $40 million contract. Because if you accept that, he's guaranteed for this year, he's locked in, and you can run it back again and see what happens. But and you can say he did this with Isaiah Hodges, with one catch from Kenny Dolladay, a bunch of bums, and now they're already starting upgrading. So they also traded for Darren Waller today, which was a pretty good pickup, a 3rd-round pick for him. So, try to get some more weapons around him, see if he will continue to improve. And again, worst case scenario is you're stuck with him for 2 years and you just try to get out of it.
Yeah, and I will say to his credit, like, you bet on yourself. I guess he didn't really bet on himself because it was their decision, but this was a contract year for him, and he had a good year. It's just like he doesn't scare me whatsoever, and this whole team doesn't scare me whatsoever.
No, and they shouldn't.
It reminds me of the Ben McAdoo Giants when they made the playoffs, the boat picture year. They made the playoffs. They got beat by the Packers, and I guess they didn't win the division, but they were second. They were a really good team. And the next year it was like, oh, Giants are really strong again, and then they were awful. I wouldn't be shocked if that happens again.
No, I wouldn't be either. Clearly the Daboll pairing is a good pairing. He knows how to use them. He's liked them. So hopefully they can keep improving and working things out. But as of right now, it's just a wait and see how this contract holds up.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. Like, it is, you're able to get out of it after 2 years. It's not the end of the world. But his cap hit this year is $21 million. His cap hit next year is $45 million.
Oh, that's just
So.
just rough numbers to look at if you're a Giants fan. Also looking at that, so trying to see, since we're already talking about the Giants, they also signed, I think it's Bobby Okereke there. Yeah, Bobby Okereke, middle linebacker. I like that for their team. I already mentioned they got Darren Waller. They re-signed Sterling Shepard, franchise tag Saquon. So they're building around
Shepard.
Yeah, he 1 year,
like
1.3
games.
Yeah, they
the deal.
I like it when he's on the field, but he's never on the field.
Me too. I always take him in fantasy.
Yeah, he's always that guy. You get the last couple rounds, like, oh, Sterling Shepard. Yeah. He's on the game. He'll play.
Like week 7, he's got like one more week on the IR. Like, let's keep him up. Start him next week.
So, since we mentioned the trade with Darren Waller, the Raiders, they got their guy Jimmy Garoppolo. Handsome Jimmy's in Vegas. I'm glad he's not on the Jets. As a guy who wants to root for Jimmy Garoppolo, it's good to see that he's not going in the division. And they got him. They got Jacoby Myers for 3 years, $33 million. So the initial thing with that is, did you see what Adams put on his Instagram story, like right after this? He was like, if you haven't talked to me in weeks, don't text me about this Jimmy Garoppolo thing, basically. So maybe he's not very happy about it. I couldn't see a scenario where you go from Aaron Rodgers to Derek Carr to then Jimmy Garoppolo where you're ecstatic about it. But I think Jimmy Garoppolo is a better quarterback than Derek Carr. And I think Jimmy Garoppolo, if coached correctly and put you in a good situation, can win you some playoff games. I don't think he's any world beater, but as we've talked about on this pod, just born winner. I mean, a guy that handsome, is going to win you some games.
He does, like, doesn't make any sense when we try to actually do analysis of it, but he does. He just finds ways to win games. And he's got a pretty good receiving crew here. Adams, Renfro, now Myers. They lost Waller at the end of the world. I think he was banged up a lot last year anyway. So I think it's a good fit for him. He will love Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
He's Jimmy G.
I'm excited to see the videos that come out of him in Vegas. They're going to be great.
The thing that sucks, and it's like you could say this with every team in the division, is got to face Mahomes, Herbert, and Russ 2 times a year. Did we even talk about Sean Payton and Russ?
Yeah, I think we did.
Did? Okay.
Yeah, I believe so.
So it's like it could work out, like they can make the playoffs, but again, how far are you getting with this? I'm never going to win your division.
And it's also this is like Josh McDaniels. He's worked with him before. This should be a guy he's comfortable with coaching, knows how to put him hopefully in the right position to win games. And this is a bet on McDaniels. If McDaniels can't get this to work out, like this is his hand-picked guy basically, um, then there should be no reason to keep him around. And they had the seventh
Mhm.
overall pick. There was rumors that they might trade up, try to get the first overall, try to get the second, third, try to get a quarterback. That looks like it's going to bed, and there looks like they're riding with Jimmy. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with the seventh overall pick and how they can improve around good old Jimmy.
Yeah, I mean, you almost have to have like a perfect team around him,
Yeah,
which is
which
what the
they're not.
Niners had
Yeah.
a couple years ago. But we'll see. I mean, it's another. It's like it raises the floor.
Hmm.
You're going to be competitive.
Yeah, definitely. I think am I seeing some Alan Lazard? Did he finally commit to the Jets? I can't find it. Well,
Let's just address the elephant in the room
the
right
Aaron
now.
Rodgers sized
The
elephant.
Jets. Yes.
He's the worst person ever.
He's the
He's the worst, man. Like his goal is to just make sure everyone talks about him every day of free agency.
Well, and the annoying thing is like he came out and he said, "I don't want to drag this on. It's not fair to Packers and then the rest of the league." You're right. It's not. It's being dragged on. Like he went into the darkness for a couple days, which he ended that stay early, by the way.
Yeah, he
Didn't
didn't stay
last
very
the
long.
full 4 days in the darkness.
Oh, sorry, just
Then he
just so
comes
you know,
back.
they got their boy Alan Lazard, 4 years, 44 million. God damn. Honestly.
That like he's got to be going to the Jets.
So did you also so he made a wish list for the Jets today,
Right.
and he wants Odell Beckham, Alan Lazard, Randall Cobb again, and Mercedes Lewis again. So the Jets are just going through every old Packers
Just
receiver
like
at
looking
some
out
point.
for his boys
Yeah, definitely.
and
And
Odell.
yeah, and Odell, which I saw rumors like, oh, he wants 20 million a year. It's like, who's gonna give you 20 million a year, Odell?
20 million.
I don't know who's gonna. Maybe the Jets will, but so Rodgers to the Jets just seems like a catastrophe waiting to happen. Like
Yes.
him in New York, him with all the media attention, coming on Pat McAfee once a week, probably telling him how the coach is garbage or the facilities are garbage or something, and it just seems like a nightmare scenario. But the Jets are all in for it. All their players are for it. Did you see that the Sauce Gardner went with Garrett Wilson and Brees Hall? They're burning cheese heads in honor of Aaron Rodgers, trying to summon Aaron Rodgers to New York. Um, just, I mean, like, I know Rodgers is Rodgers, but come on now. Is this really like? If we really gonna like think about this, and he's gonna be MVP again or something? They're gonna be third in the division.
I don't know, but like when you're like the Jets and you haven't had a quarterback ever since Joe Namath,
Yeah,
you gotta get excited, right?
yeah, exactly. If you're a Jets fan, you're definitely getting excited. You do want this. You do want this, even though it could end up being a shit show. And you're
It's a
right.
risk you're willing to take.
And it's not trading for another young quarterback to see if they could develop. It's not. It's a proven guy. You're getting out there with a two-time, or now is he what, 3 or 4 time league MVP.
Yeah.
So yeah, of course it's a good move, but I just can't see this working out. Can't do it. And maybe it's
It's
just my
just the
Pat's
stink of
bias.
the Jets.
And him.
It's like it's hard to picture.
There's a
Like
stink of
he's made
him.
they always make the playoffs,
They didn't last year.
right? But like all the other years,
He was bad last year. He wasn't good. And he
yeah,
doesn't put um doesn't put any fear in my eyes. Which is
that's fair.
but as a Pats fan, I guess I'm a little biased against the Jets. So
This probably makes you the worst team in the division.
oh yeah, yeah, I'd say so.
Unfortunately.
It the Pats have had a weird off season so far. They've done basically nothing. They traded Jonnu Smith to the Falcons for nothing, which is fine. We got off all of his money, which is all right with me. I mean, if we weren't going to use him, we might as well get rid of him and save the money. Jonathan Jones, I'm glad we re-signed him for a cheap deal, and we got some offensive tackle I've never heard of today from the Broncos. So hopefully that can help out. But we need some weapons. We need to trade for Hopkins, or else we're going to be bottom of the division.
Ooh, I just saw a Hopkins rumor.
Really?
To maybe it was Carolina. There's no way that they could afford those trades. Let's see. Patriots. Perhaps. Let's see.
All right, well, you look for that. I'm going to discuss the Bears so far. They've had a pretty good offseason so far. They got a lot of assets we just said for the trade for the number 1 pick. Now they're trying to bump up their defense. They got Tremaine Edmonds, who I desperately wanted on the Patriots for 4 years, $72 million. I think he's like the 4th highest paid linebacker, but he's still 24 years old. You have until he's 28, and he was a baller for the Bills. Excited to see him leave Buffalo. But what was weird to me is that they also signed TJ Edwards to 3 years, $19 million, which is another linebacker. So I don't know if paying all those linebackers is a good move in today's age, but they also got some offensive line help, and they had the most cap space going in, so they're gonna be heavy spenders the rest of the way still.
All right, I was locked in on trying to find that rumor, which I couldn't find.
It's fine.
Did the Bears sign
Tremaine Edmonds and TJ
Right,
Edwards.
right.
They also got a guard
It's almost
from the Titans. Sorry.
like they just had a linebacker that could have signed to a long term.
Right.
So.
Right. And they the Ravens re-signed Roquan for I think my Ravens friend said $2 million less a year than Tremaine Edmonds. So kind of weird how you do that.
That must have just been like irreparable relationship.
Yeah, and maybe
not
he
make any sense.
just wanted out. Maybe he was tired of it. I don't know. But they're replacing him with 2
I mean,
other
I guess
linebackers.
now like you got a 1st round pick for him, right?
Second. Got a 2nd round pick for him.
So you got a 2nd round pick and you got his replacement at really higher cost. Oh, not the end of the world.
No, and they have the money to spend.
They had him.
What'd you say?
But they had him.
Yeah, they did. They did have him.
It's been a little bit more convenient.
And now I also forget that they have Chase Claypool now, which they traded the 32nd overall pick.
Yes, they do have Chase Claypool, which does not make a lot of sense.
No, not at all.
Oh wait, yeah, I guess they traded a 2nd for him, right?
Yeah, they traded. It ended up being the 32nd overall pick. So they moved back in the draft, signed Tremaine Edmonds, got Chase Claypool, which I guess isn't terrible, but it's not.
I don't know about
Could
Claypool.
have been handled a little different. Yeah, I think Claypool's kind of a bum. But you have a weapon around Fields. Help him out as much as you can.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Where should we go from here? You want to talk about Duran?
Team? Yeah. This is the 2nd guy that they've actually extended, that they've drafted. So they signed Allen last year. They signed Duran. I think it's, like 4 years, $90 million. A lot of money, obviously, but they have the money to spend. That's the strength of the team. There's no reason to draft 4 defensive linemen in 4 years if you're not going to re-sign them. So I was pretty pumped. Because I was expecting them to leave, especially after they drafted Mathis in the 2nd round last year. But it's exciting that they are at least going to have some consistency on this line.
Did you see what he said of why he took the extension?
Didn't.
He said they're one little piece away from being really good.
Not little. Maybe a
So,
piece or two. Maybe a Lamar Jackson.
and speaking of the Commanders, do you want to say a heartfelt goodbye to Taylor Heineke and all that he's done for your franchise?
Yeah, I mean, he was like the most fun thing that we've had in a while at quarterback position, probably since RG3. Which he wasn't better than Cousins, but he was more fun than Cousins.
Oh,
So
definitely.
that game against Tampa Bay in the playoffs, saying I can't believe that was 3 seasons ago.
I know.
Been here for that long, but just that, like, if he played in that game and never returned, he still would have been like legend forever.
Oh yeah.
Because like they didn't win the game, obviously, but he went toe to toe with Brady. Did a 1-score game the year they won the Super Bowl. So it was exciting to root for. Not a great quarterback, but we put him in that his own little tier when we did the quarterback ranking.
Mm-hmm.
The experience.
Yeah.
You never knew what you were gonna get. It was always exciting though. So I will miss having him around, but obviously it wasn't a long term thing.
I want to say
Good luck to him in Atlanta.
As a guy who was in the XFL as a backup, now he's making $10 million a year to play for the Falcons. Props to him. I mean, talk about never giving up, betting on yourself. Just a great NFL story, and he might never start for quarterback for a team again. But that being said, he'll probably be one of those guys that will float around as a backup for a couple years, and any team that will get him will be excited for him as his backup.
Yeah.
So speaking of the
He's
Falcons,
already made life-changing amounts of money.
Yeah. Yep. Just from this contract. So, speaking of the Falcons, talked about they got Jonnu Smith back with the boy Arthur Smith. So he knows how to use him. That's where his most productive year was. Is this a bad bet for Pitt's fans? Is the Pitt stock going even lower?
Ooh. It was already pretty down last year.
Yeah, you could buy low now.
I don't know. Maybe having another tight end clears things up for him.
Yeah, maybe they're more
So
versatile.
he's like basically a receiver. So I don't know. We'll see.
They also signed.
I guess it's Ritter, right? Like he's
Yeah.
going to be the guy.
Looks like Ritter's going to be the guy.
Be interesting. Very interesting.
They got Jesse Bates on the defense, safety from the Bengals, which the Bengals lost both their starting safeties, which will be interesting to see how they replace them, or I guess just how they replace them. And Jesse Bates, 4 years, $64 million deal. I thought that was a great deal. I would have loved if the Pats got him. And beefing up they're beefing up their secondary, which was pretty strong last year, one of their strong suits. So beefing up this team, I like what Atlanta's doing.
And it's going to be another year with growing pains for sure, especially offensively.
Yeah, and you get to see how Ritter does. Maybe like this is like his test. You know, he only started I think 2 games last year, so having that guy in house, you already seen him for a year, already seen a training camp. Try to interact him with the system. I'm glad they're not overreacting and trying to trade up for a quarterback and doing stuff like that. Like we already talked about the Panthers, but they traded up for Matt Corral last year. That is now he's on the trade block. So I always find it weird.
Forgot about him.
Everyone did. And I just find it weird when teams don't try out their guy that they already have in house for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean hopefully
Sam Howell.
Yeah, and I hope Howell gets the same treat. Like I hope you guys get some other quarterback for insurance, but if they ride with Howell, I'd like to see it, and I'd like to see I want to see him on the field first, and I want to see some more Ritter and see what he can do.
And that might just be us being stupid fans, and like we don't see any of the practice stuff. We don't see him in the film room or in the offseason. So like maybe they just look awful and they're like bums and they're lazy, and we just have no idea. But
yeah,
it's always like we haven't seen this guy. Like I still think that Josh Dobbs deserves a real shot. So guys like that, you never, and I guess he kind of got a chance at the end of this year. But I always think like give him a couple games at least. Like let's just see it. That's what I always wanted for Colt. Just let him
Yeah,
start a few games.
yeah. Let him start a
And then
season. Have him be the guy in the off season. See how it works out. And if it's a lost cause, it's a lost cause. And I think you were saying like we haven't seen the guys in practice. We haven't seen the guys. If they're not going to get a quarterback, they're the ones who've seen him in the practice. They're the ones who've seen him through training camp and through whatever. So if they have faith in him, then there's no reason then we should be poo-pooing them and making sure they get another quarterback. I mean, they got him in the second round last year. They should at least try him out.
he played what? How many games last year?
I think two
Couple,
or
right?
three. Can't be more than
He's
that.
awful.
Yeah, he wasn't very good.
We'll see.
Yeah,
Actually, he was not that bad. At least numbers wise.
what I love about
100
the
yards,
free
2
agency
touchdowns, no picks.
is we always end up the conversation, no matter what team we're talking about, no matter what trade or whatever. It's always just like, we'll see how it works. Speaking of trades, we didn't get to this one. An aggravating trade for an AFC East fan. The Jalen Ramsey went to the Dolphins for a 3rd-round pick and some guy named Hunter Long, some tight end that I've never heard of before. He has one career
Tight end
catch.
name.
Oh, great tight end name. So Jalen Ramsey is now in the Dolphins. They just seem to be getting anyone who requests a trade. Like, the Dolphins will take him. They'll trade something for
I
him.
your tweet the other day, just I hate the Dolphins.
I mean, how many years in a row now? Like, they got Hill last year, midway through the season, they got Bradley Chubb, and now they're getting Ramsey. It's a bet on it's a bet on Tua. They're beefing up the defense. They have the weapons around them. They signed Mike White as insurance, which I love. But they're building this team around Tua, and I respect it. And it also seems like this is a Tom Brady team like midway through the year? We just gonna see him lace up the
Midway through
season.
the year.
Maybe right before the season starts, it's like I'm back again.
Okay.
And there he is, right on the Dolphins. It's like a perfect fit. They fit him right in.
There's no way.
I hope not. I hope he did. He tweeted out.
Shatter your heart.
Yeah, no, that would be so brutal. But anyways, hopefully Tua works out for them, and this all actually hopefully on my end that it doesn't work out for him. But for the Dolphins fans, hopefully this works out, and it's a big bet on Tua. Rams, I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea.
It's almost like they got the ring, and it's like, whatever at this point.
That's what it seems like. It's like we got our ring. We traded our guys for Matthew Stafford, and now it's like, are they even gonna keep Matthew Stafford? Is he even gonna play for them next year? Who knows? They're gonna be a bottom dweller. I don't know.
I don't know. Like, you still have Stafford comes back, and you have still Cooper Kupp still. How bad could you be?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, is the defense going to be Swiss cheese? Do they have any money to sign anyone else? Like, they have no draft picks, I'll tell you that. I have no idea what they're going to do.
Well, they have a 3rd rounder.
Yeah, they have Hunter Long. So they have that. I don't know what to say.
Heard Hunter Long can haul ass.
I heard he could put the team on his back. He could take him to the playoffs. So
drafting him in fantasy just because we're memeing him. Gonna be that guy that's like, remember when we made fun of Hunter Long? 2 years, he's just Travis Kelce.
Sean McVay saw something. He saw something in Hunter Long.
Hunter Long looks like he's 13 years old.
I gotta look up a picture.
Did you look him up?
No, I gotta look up a picture of this guy. I just don't like what
like
do you see them? Oh my god. This guy, I don't know if this guy can grow facial hair.
Oh no chance. That's coming from someone who can't grow facial hair, so I know one when I see one.
Yeah, I have no idea what the Rams are doing. Well,
kind of looks like my cousin Max, except smaller.
Oh god, smaller. It's not what you want in a tight end. I'm interested to see. This is a team I want to keep my eye on throughout the rest of the offseason, see what other moves they do, and honestly, just figure out a plan of what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like I'm very
curious.
When
they're I don't even know. I was gonna compare him to somebody. The Lakers, maybe after they won their title.
Just trading but that was at least we knew it was LeBron. At least we knew it was LeBron doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
The
That's true.
I'm sitting in the airport when this trade comes, and I'm with the teacher that I was with throughout the whole week, and he was like, "Oh, like Ramsey must be, this is his trade, like his contract must be up. He wants an extension." And I was like, "Nope, he's got 2 more years." He's like, "Oh, maybe bad beef or something." Nope, he was fine on the team. But there's a scenario where Jalen Ramsey is washed. He had a bad year last
He
year.
was trash last year.
Yeah, he had a bad year last year. So hopefully that's all. It comes back and he's still pretty garbage. What team do you want to hit next?
Unless he just needed a change of scenery.
I'd be so mad.
Oop. I think we got everything major. No.
Yeah, I think so. The Chiefs got a new offensive tackle. They got the guy from Jacksonville, Jawan Taylor.
We signed Wiley.
Yep, you guys got an offensive guard tackle
Gates
from
the Giants.
So that's some offensive line movement. The Texans, they have a weird. Let me read you some of their free agents because it's kind of weird.
Dear.
So let me find them. Sorry, I'm scrolling through the list of all the free agents. All right, they got Robert Woods, which old and washed. I don't know why they got him. I guess just to get a nice wide receiver for your next QB. They got Case Keenum for 2 years, so a nice backup placeholder. And then they got Noah Brown, who, do you remember him from the Cowboys?
Noah Brown?
Yeah, another wide receiver. He was like their wide receiver 3. He's solid. And then they traded for Shaq Mason, so they're beefing up the line. It seems like they're prepping for, of course they're prepping for a new quarterback, or they're surrounding Mills with some weapons. Either one, I'm all for it. But I don't know. Then
those really aren't weapons. Like
no.
Noah Brown and Bobby Trees are not weapons.
No, not at all. But they're
that's a huge burger.
And then
I didn't know that Noah Brown existed. That's shocking to me. I don't know who that person is. Unless I just forgot.
He wasn't anything spectacular. I just remember him as like the 3rd wide receiver on the Cowboys. I just know all the wide receivers because of
every Cowboys game. Yeah, that's fair.
So the Vikings, this is another one where I found them having a weird offseason. They cut a bunch of players. Hendricks, they cut Pat Pete, they cut I heard that they might cut Harrison Smith, and they spent $7 million a year on Josh Oliver, a tight end.
Soon.
Didn't they just trade?
Just got Hockenson.
Didn't they just trade for Hockenson? And I heard like he's like a blocking tight end from the great. Why are you spending $7 million a year on him? Like you just had to cut all these guys for cap casualties, and now you're going to spend $7 million a year on Josh Oliver. They did get a great deal for Marcus Davenport, which I don't remember, but the Saints had to trade up for him in the draft, and now he signs a 1-year, $13 million deal with the Vikings, and they re-signed their center for 3 years. So weird.
Thielen finally going.
Who?
Adam Thielen. That feels weird.
Oh yes, yeah. They also had to cut him for cap casualties. That's
they've restructured Kirk's contract somehow.
I don't
know what they did, but it says they saved like $16 million.
Restructuring contracts is a myth to me. The people just make up that and make up cap numbers that they now eventually have.
That is true.
All right. What else? It seems like Javon Hargrave going to the Niners is a scary good deal.
Oh yeah, the Eagles are losing everyone.
Yeah. Let's end it off talking about the Eagles. They are. It's gonna be. I don't know if they're gonna be winning the Super Bowl this year. They lost pretty much everyone on their defense. Yeah, they got Rashawn Penny. Great.
Kelsey, they got back.
Yep.
But Gardner Johnson gone. Hargrave gone. Else?
TJ Edwards
did they lose?
Gone. He was a starting linebacker for them. The James Bradbury and Gardner Johnson are still free agents. Still could re-sign, but they lost. I think they've already
Gardner
lost.
Johnson already posted something.
Oh, did he?
He's gone.
Oh, okay.
So Andre Dillard.
He's gonna be a Patriot.
On.
They lost. They just lost Kaiser White too, another linebacker for him. He went to the Cardinals. Not anything major, but they're just losing defensive starters left and right. So this is not going to be this dominant Eagles defense that we saw throughout all last year until the Super Bowl. And it's going to be an adjustment period. They're going to have to sign some other guys, have to hit another couple draft picks. And my question is, Nakobe Dean, that fell to like the 3rd round for them last year. He's slotted right in. He's ready to start. So I'm excited to see, hopefully, because I love that guy coming out of the draft. And as much as I hate the Eagles, I do want to see him do well, just because I was so high on him.
It's like a legacy pick.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
Nick Bolton.
Pick. Yeah, Nick Bolton. He worked out big time for you though.
Did work out.
I'm trying to look at some other
Super Bowl. A lot of guys get to do that.
The Broncos, they did sign an offensive tackle to help out Russ and a D lineman, Zach Allen, to help out their defense. They also got Ben Powers, another offensive lineman, to help out Russ. So they're definitely Russ. Last year was pretty trash, but you could tell his offensive line was giving him no help, and just trying to boost that up. They already got Sean Payton. They can't do much in the draft, so signing guys like that is a big help for Russ and the rest of the program there.
I also read that they're looking into trading one of their receivers too.
I did. I'm high up on that. I want the Pats to get one of them, Jerry Jeudy or Courtland Sutton. I just want the Pats to get some.
About Tim Patrick.
No, that's probably who they're gonna get. There was reports. It was like the Patriots are eyeing Philip Dorsett. I was like, oh my god. I was like, Jesus Christ. My Madden guy though. My Madden guy.
Bring him home.
Yeah, bring him home. I'm for it. He's a great wide receiver 5. So
how could you not be?
Yeah. And Braxton Berrios, let's get him back too. Bring them all home.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So if we just want to just keep having mid wide receivers, we got it's a perfect market for it. So let me just refresh.
Yeah. I feel like the free agency market in terms of offensive players is not hot this year at all.
No, it's all defensive guys. I'm trying to look, so nothing new happened on Twitter for what I can see. And yeah, I'm just waiting for the Pats to do something. Like something that's splashy, and even whether it's a trade or a signing, and it probably won't happen, but that's all right. I can hope. All right. Is there anything we missed? Looking through right now.
I hit everything with my team.
The Bills upgraded on their line. Lost some play. They might.
Yeah.
I heard they're going to lose Jordan Poyer too, so that could be a big loss for their defense. Tony Pollard back on the Cowboys. He got franchise tagged.
Yeah, the franchise tag. That was kind of weird. Not that much.
Yeah, I mean Cam Sutton. I didn't really know who he was, but apparently he's a good corner. Went to the Lions. And they also re-signed Alex Alonso, Isaiah Buggs. So they haven't done anything splashy yet. But yeah, I had to mention his name because I love his name. I'm trying to look any other team. I mean, Michael Thomas, 1 year, $10 million, back with the Saints. Let's see if he can stay healthy. See if he can stay on the field. And other than that, Sam Darnold. He's gonna win the Super Bowl.
We mentioned that.
It's just you wanted another Jimmy G, just throw him right in there. You got him. You got a perfect out. This is gonna be where the Sam Darnold.
This Jimmy G loves to fumble.
What do you say?
Loves to fumble.
Yes. So Jimmy G that loves to fumble. I just know Kyle Shanahan's gonna find a way to get Sam Darnold some playoff wins or something. And it's honestly a perfect emergency. Like you have Trey Lance, you have now Darnold, and then you have Brock Purdy, and if I'm the Niners, just sign any quarterback, sign them all.
It's almost like they're preparing
for the injuries.
Have their guys get hurt.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was thinking, I'm like, why the hell do you need Arnold in that QB room? You have Purdy, he's a great backup. And then, but remember, they were playing the NFC Championship game, and Josh Johnson was getting snaps as the fourth stringer. So I guess it makes sense.
So yeah, I like that for them, and that's about it. I feel like we're covering everything unless we missed something that just happened. We should be up to date.
Yeah, I think we got it all.
Is it time for some March?
Yes.
All right. This is where you got to take over. I'm not as well versed in all the other NCAA teams besides the Gamecocks, and they're not even close to making it. So,
do you have your bracket pulled up?
yeah, I do actually. I can pull it up right now.
All right. So you want to just go region by region?
Yeah, let me
We'll just discuss big picture stuff. Look at all the interesting games. Pick our Final Four. Pick our champion. All that good stuff.
Yeah, sounds good.
Oh, first of all, Rutgers got absolutely shafted by not making the tournament. So I feel bad for them as a Big Ten Padre. Sorry, Rutgers. That sucks. They were probably deserved. I think I read that the 77 of 82 experts had them in the field, and they weren't in. Oh, that's a bummer. That was the only team that missed it. I think that should have been in. We could start in.
Wait. Before, since we're talking about the teams who missed, South Carolina takes down Clemson one more time. That loss to the mighty Gamecocks.
Yeah, that's a bad loss.
Was probably the reason why they didn't make the tournament.
Probably that's like a quad 4 loss.
Yep. So that's always exciting. That was got Gamecock Twitter and all the fans here pretty excited.
I bet.
And it always comes with some snarky remarks back from Clemson fans, but they're not in it. So it's
yeah, that's right. They're right where you are.
Yep. Sitting right on the bench at home. So
also North Carolina, I think, was the only preseason number 1 team to not make the tournament since they expanded it.
Yep.
So.
Yep. This is also the first time since 1985 they haven't been in the tournament.
That's insane.
Oof.
Sorry.
So let's go. Yeah. So let's
okay.
break down the bracket. Let's start from the South.
Oh. Yeah, we got top left South. Bama, the 1 seed. Obviously, we know the Brandon Miller stuff, but I think this is probably the best team in the field. I don't know about. No. We got your 1 seeds are Bama, Houston, Kansas, Purdue. Purdue, I'm sleeping heavy on because I don't know, outside of Edey, I don't know what they have. Houston, I think they're really talented, but their best guard is hurt. I don't know if he's going to play. And they haven't really played anyone, so who knows? And Kansas is just they've lost a lot of games. Hard to repeat. I think Bama, out of the 1 seeds, is the best. They have a pretty easy region. I hate to say that because might face my team in the second round. But Allen going up against West Virginia, I don't know. I don't know anything about West Virginia. It feels like kind of a coin flip.
You know who you got to look out for?
Yes, of course. So.
Eric Stevenson, former Gamecock. He can light it up. He is a 3-point specialist, and I've seen that he's in all the big games that they win, he goes off. And when it comes to March, you want to guard
Eric
like that.
With the K.
Yep, Eric with the K. I have some bias towards him because I loved him so much last year on the Gamecocks. So you gotta watch out for him. And that's I don't know anything else about the West Virginia team, but that's your biggest threat if you're gonna go home based off that.
I just hate it because it reminds me of the game when they had Hello Trimble and they played West Virginia and they got beat. And, West Virginia just presses you the whole game. It's so hard to watch. So it's going to be a very physical game, low scoring. Take the under. West Virginia is better offense. Oh yeah, Stevenson's their best player.
Is he? Because I know every time
great.
I've seen them win he's been lighting it up.
So they're not huge, which bodes well for Maryland because Maryland's only big guy is Juju Reese. So their biggest guy is 6'9". That's good. guess they have two guys off the bench that are big. But that's a good matchup for him. I just hope it's a close game. Did I tell you that I have an exam at 2?
Yeah, you
To
did.
12:15.
You did.
I
That
don't know what
is,
to do. I
yeah.
just hope it's a blowout, I guess.
So, y- so the game starts at 12:15. You have an exam at what? 2:30?
Ew.
Yeah, you're not catching the end of that, which sucks.
Yeah.
So you just gotta hope.
Or I'm not catching the start of my exam.
Either one. Either one. Hopefully, you're right. Is a blowout from either side, so then you can almost relax. Know you're not missing much.
Yeah.
But in a game of college basketball, a blowout can switch really quickly. So that'll
Yeah.
be interesting.
So
for
anyway, just keep me in your thoughts, everyone.
What exam
Hopefully,
is it?
the worst case scenario, it's environmental economics.
Is that something you're gonna have to study a lot for?
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, that's a big wrinkle in your
And, like, I needed
Madness.
to graduate,
Yeah,
just like gen ed, so
yeah.
like intro philosophy or some bullshit like that. But anyway, worst case scenario is they're up like 8 with 3 minutes left, and I have to go into
You
the
have to go.
exam, and then I come out and they've lost by 2.
Yeah.
That's the worst case scenario. But I don't know, we'll see. At this game, like, I'm not confident going into it, but I'm not like pessimistic. I'm kind of just like I have no idea what's gonna happen.
You guys got boned, I feel like, because you're an 8th seed. You ended up playing a pretty good or a solid West Virginia team, and then you're gonna have to, whether you win or not, or actually, well, if you win, then you have to face Bama. So
No,
that
it was the last one seed that I wanted to see.
yeah, you guys kind of got shafted there, but
Yeah,
that's
that's all right.
that's how it goes. So
When you gotta beat the best anyway.
that's true. That's true. You would have had to face
Oh.
him at some point. So
Right.
all right, later.
Moving down.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna do the same thing you're
Uh,
doing.
I like Charleston to beat San Diego State.
I
Charleston had a
that
really
too.
good year. 3 wins. Mountain West apparently has only made like one Sweet 16 since 2016. I think I saw that.
Oof.
So any Mountain West teams. I also like Furman to beat Virginia.
Really?
Virginia, like, Furman just plays so differently. Furman is a big 3-point shooting team, I believe, from what I've seen. And Virginia is just like the slow it down and like defense until you die. If they just, like, if Furman just starts chucking up threes, they get up on them, like, we're gonna win that game. Like, if they get, all they have to do is get hot from 3, I feel like Virginia's toast.
Is Virginia been? I don't know. Has Virginia been great this year? Good this year?
We
Decent?
won the regular season for the ACC, but the ACC sucks.
And then wasn't it Duke Virginia for the ACC tournament too?
Yeah, and it was the worst game ever. Like, it was like 25-14 at halftime. It was terrible. I think they scored less than 50 points in that game. But yeah, Furman, like, 23rd in offense or 33rd in offense on KenPom. Like, their offense numbers are crazy. They're the best 2-point shooting team in the country. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like a great matchup. Virginia. But, like, obviously, Virginia has the better athletes
Yeah,
and the better coaching.
yeah. Creighton.
Anyway, I like that
NC
upset.
State.
Creighton was supposed to be really good coming into this year, so I picked them. I don't know anything about NC State. Don't really have much for that one.
All right, neither do I. All I know is that Creighton's
Baylor.
been pretty decent this year.
Yeah. Baylor had an up and down year. They're another team that's just incredible on offense. They don't really play much defense, but I could see them making a run in this region. I don't like this region. Is just not that scary.
Yeah.
Arizona is the 2 seed. I don't know
sleep
how
on
good
Mizzou.
Arizona is. No?
No,
What's
don't sleep on
Mizzou?
Mizzou. Mizzou's feisty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of offense in this region. I will say that. It's like every team bombs. Like Arizona, Zoo, Baylor, Eaton, Furman, all these teams. It's just points, points, points. So take every over.
Besides the
Also,
Maryland
Arizona.
game.
Yeah, besides that one, Arizona has a guy named Kerr. He was named after Steve Kerr. Where's Kerr on the back of his jersey? No, it's his first name, which I don't like.
Oh, I hate that.
Oh, for that reason, I'm out on Arizona. I don't like them.
I don't like that at all.
But they do score a lot of points. So it is going to be fun. Another Arizona in the Sweet 16. Awesome. I have Alabama coming out of that region. Yeah.
I wanted to be different and not pick a 1 seed, and I probably should pick Bama because I feel like they might just roll everybody. But with the close game to South Carolina, then that's all I could base like all my stuff off of is how they played against South Carolina. And like when you play a close game against my team, I can't get a lot of faith into you. So I had Virginia, but after our discussion,
really?
I might switch it up a little bit.
That's the thing. Like Virginia lost to a 16 seed and then won the national championship the next year. So it's like it's almost like deep run or bust for them.
Bust, yeah.
But we'll see. I had Charleston in my Sweet 16.
Ooh, really? You had them so then beating Virginia and then losing
Yeah.
Alabama.
Yeah.
I also had Creighton in the Sweet 16, losing to Arizona.
I can see that. And a beating Baylor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
All right,
I feel like this really will produce some exciting games. Midwest, what are we looking at? That's Houston's bracket.
Yep.
Obviously, Houston wins their first game. Iowa, Auburn. I think rule of thumb is don't pick Iowa in the tournament. They never win, even when they're a 1 seed.
All
So,
right.
I mean, heavy on Auburn there.
Auburn's
Miami
got some feisty
is
guys. Auburn is
okay.
yeah, they're no joke. They I mean, they had some weird losses to Kentucky. They lost by 3 to Arkansas, which I love Arkansas. I think they can make a deep run, but they've beaten Tennessee.
It's a talented team.
Yeah, like they can. Looking at this right, like they've had some weird up and down games, but I think they can put up a fight against Iowa.
Took Bama to overtime.
Yeah, I mean now I'm looking at like their game
Yeah, that's
schedule, and
worth.
they're not as good as I thought, but
They were awful in SEC play down the stretch.
yeah, down the stretch they were. They
Started
lost A&M,
6-2, or started
Tennessee.
6-1 and finished 10-8.
Yeah, that's not great.
That is not great. I definitely like them to beat Iowa because I don't trust Iowa. Miami in the tournament, I feel like is always making runs, so I don't think they get upset in the first round.
No Drake Love.
No Drake Love.
I don't know anything about either, so that's fine.
I just know like Miami beat Auburn last year. I think Indiana is one of like a sleeper Final Four team. I think.
You think so?
I have them going to the Sweet 16 and getting beat because I could also see them getting beat by Kent State. They are the most like, in my head at least, they're the biggest range of outcomes team. Just because they have so much talent. Like Jackson Davis was probably second National Player of the Year voting. His first team All-American. Chifino, their point guard, is going to be an NBA lottery pick. And they have a couple other guys who have just lingered around the program for a couple of years now. They're really experienced. They got into the tournament last year and lost. So not completely new to it. We're supposed to win the Big Ten coming into the year. I like this team a lot. They're Indiana, so it could also implode right away. I'm kind of covering, like, I'm not really giving much analysis there. But I think, like, it's either they could get upset. I wouldn't even be surprised. I also wouldn't be surprised if they beat Houston and were in the Elite Eight.
A lot of variety there. This next game, Iowa State and Pitt. Pitt is the team I love Pitt. I know they have to beat Mississippi
They gotta
State.
win tonight.
Yeah, they gotta win tonight. I guess I'll change the bracket up if they lose, but I have them going to the Sweet 16. I don't know why. I try to hop on the hot teams right at the end, and they've been hot to end out the year. So that's what I want
They
to see.
haven't been to the tournament in a while either. Like a resurgence of the program almost. They were 14-6 in ACC play. They were one win away. Like, they went to Miami the last game of the year, and if they won that game, they would have been tied for first in the conference. They barely got into the tournament. So that's how much the committee hated the ACC this year.
We have some comments. First saying, are we going to stream any men's basketball games? And it says games. I'm guessing it means March Madness games. I don't know. We could do something like that. Find a way to stream behind us, watch a game. That'd be fun. And we also have Wyatt, Mr. Wyatt Bunting, a fellow a commenter, fellow term.
Got Indiana to win it all.
Yep, he's got Indiana to win it all.
Loves the squad.
He also has Pitt money line tonight, so he's riding with me there. Love it.
There you go.
Right.
I like that too. I also have family that went to Pitt, so I will definitely ride the Pitt train. Yeah. If Iowa State winning that game, though. In all fairness.
So then Xavier, Kenshaw, Xavier, they're ones I just don't want to see in the tournament. I don't know why. It's just like,
because they're one of those basketball schools where it's like you don't know anything about them other than they just show up in the tournament sometimes.
And they're always in it. They're always there.
Yeah.
And they're just you're right. They're just that's the only
thing. I didn't know that they were this good this year. But they have Sean Miller, the guy who he used to coach at Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Like DeAndre Ayton when he was on that team.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a very good coach. He got fired from Arizona because of like NCAA violations, but basketball coach.
And then I think one of the best matchups of the first round is A&M Penn State. I think that's going to be a bloodbath, a fun game.
I think A&M is better than a 7 seed. I took Penn State as much as I hate Penn State. But
even though you just said that A&M should be better than a 7 seed?
Yeah, but I think Penn State's better than a 10. Maybe that's just because they went on a run in the tournament, the Big Ten tournament. There's bias there, but you have a team that has a guard as good as Jalen Pickett is. Dude was averaging 18, 7, and 7 this year. Should have been a first-team All-American. I think he was second team. But like those are the guys that I trust in March Madness, especially in the first round. Oh, I don't know. I don't know much about A&M, but Penn State's really hot right now. Texas A&M, Texas would be fun in the second round.
A&M had a good end to their year. Their only SEC loss in the last couple games was to Mississippi State, where they only lost by 7. They beat Alabama by 6, and they met Alabama again in the SEC tournament, and they got whomped. But pretty convincing win over Vanderbilt in the SEC tournament, and I like their guys. I think they're a feisty team that could come out of the SEC and make some noise.
Yeah.
Texas, though, I know nothing about.
Game is a tough one. But Texas is my pick to win this region.
Okay.
They had Chris Beard, the coach from Texas Tech. He got fired like a couple weeks into the season because there was like a domestic violence case.
Yeah, now he's the old Miss coach.
If you remember that or ever saw that. Yeah, of course, he ends up in the SEC. But anyway, he seems like a scumbag. I don't know the full story. Didn't look good. And now, like Texas, I thought that they might go into shambles. They're in best conference in the country. They didn't. Like the team stayed together. Andy Terry, head coach, has done a great job with his team. I'm a sucker for like good stories like that, and I guess you could argue it's a bad story, root against them, but like the team itself to stick together through that. Scumbag coach out.
Yeah, it's the opposite of Alabama. It's rootable because they did the right thing and fired the guy. I think it's kind of bullshit that they beat Kansas twice in the last 10 days and they're a 2 seed and Kansas is a 1 seed. I think that's a little bullshit. So I also
Because
have them coming
Kansas
out of
had
the
like
region.
15 quad one wins, and the committee just obsessed with the quads.
So I also
But
have them coming out of this
on
region.
the I like that. On the basketball court, Marcus Carr, senior guard, Timmy Allen, senior guard, Sturgeon Rice, senior guard. Love that.
That's what you need.
Experienced team,
Yep. And it's all about
guard
guard play.
play,
Yeah.
incredible defense. Like they do everything right. Like this is, I like them so much that they're probably gonna get beat in the first round by Colgate. Apparently, that's a popular upset pick. But I think Texas is real deal.
So do I.
And that's why I have them coming out of this region.
I didn't know much about him, but I heard about the coach. Heard they did the right thing. I like that. And I knew that they beat Kansas twice in the past 10 days. So that's why I have them.
Yeah, do that. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
East.
Moving on. East. Okay, Purdue. I want to root for Purdue because they're a Big Ten team. I love Edie. Like, I don't know, man. They have 2 freshman guards. They really don't have another playmaker other than Edie. They just have guys that hit shots from time to time. They literally cannot beat the press.
Oh, Stephon Gilmore
like
to the
a-
Cowboys.
What?
Yep, traded for a 5th-round pick.
His value has gone down so much.
Yeah, he's old and makes a lot of money, but that's, I mean, it's another solid corner for the Cowboys.
Yes. That doesn't bother me too much.
No, I wouldn't.
I didn't even know he was
concern
on the
that.
Colts. He's still on the Panthers.
Yeah, a Gamecock thing retweeted
Fairness.
that and said, "I feel bad for him."
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Anyway, no, you're fine.
Oh, Philip Dorsett back to the Damn it, to the Raiders.
Oh.
You can't even get Philip Dorsett. Damn it.
Reunited with Jimmy G.
Yeah. Sorry,
Glad
I'm
to
just
hear.
looking at the Twitter, and that's why. But go back to Purdue.
There's news to break. We'll break news.
Yeah.
Can't beat the press. Like my 7th grade rec team. Like when the press comes on, they just fall apart. And that's why they lose so many games late or like blow all these leads. Get up 10 points, the opponent will put the press on and they shit down their leg. So they won the Big Ten tournament. That was impressive. I just don't see it, man. Like I could see them getting beat. Obviously, they're not getting beat in the first round. I could see Memphis beating them, have Duke beating them. If they get far enough, if they get to the Elite Eight, like you get Marquette, Kentucky, Kansas State, one of those teams. I just don't see it. I think this might be the hardest region.
I think it's the
it's
hardest
close.
region. Because I like Providence
West,
too.
actually. The West is the hardest region. But this one is the second toughest. I just don't see it. I like him. I like Matt Painter, the coach. But it's just, I'd be shocked. Went all the way.
Yeah, I mean, I had them winning this thing just because they've been dominant all year. They only had a couple hiccups. They ended up being like the 3rd ranked team overall. So I don't know. I mean, I haven't watched them as much as you, so I'm not too sure. But I would like to see Purdue finally break past it and make it.
The other thing is, like, I hate to bring the refs into it. You got Big Ten refs all year, and Edie was getting the favorable whistle. He gets called for 2 over-the-back fouls in 10 minutes. Like, the game's basically over. They cannot survive with him on the bench. I worry about that. You got to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games without him getting into foul trouble. I don't see it happening.
That could be tough.
As much as I would like to see it. I do. Although the Purdue fans on Twitter have been kind of annoying. Oh, maybe I do hope they get beat in the second round.
Speaking of the second round,
I haven't getting beat this week.
FAU. I heard FAU is a popular upset pick. That's kind of why I went with them, and I know nothing about either team.
I know Memphis just beat Houston days ago. I know FAU ranked for like the first time in school history probably this year. So they had a really good year. Won 30 games too. They rolled UAB. I don't know. This is the best 8-9 game. My
Yeah,
opinion.
I'm looking at all like the game
Arkansas, Illinois is
predictors,
pretty good.
and it's all like 54, 46, 56, 44, like on the comparisons of the two. So
Hmm.
it should be a good game. And yeah, as you said, they lost to Houston twice, but did end up beating them. They lost by 3 to Alabama. I'm talking about Memphis, and they beat A&M and Auburn. So I don't know.
Hardaway, the coach.
Oh, I forgot Tim Hardaway was the
Uh,
coach.
31-3 FAU was this year.
It's pretty
So
impressive.
that's pretty good. But that one's a coin flip. Obviously, it's an 8-9. Duke, Oral Roberts. A lot of Oral Roberts hype. But I don't know. This Duke team is like just hitting their stride.
That's what I'm
See it
scared of.
happening.
Duke, I don't think Duke's losing this. I think
Duke
Duke's
has
been on-
won 9 games in a row.
They've been on a absolute roll.
He stomped Pitt in the ACC tournament. Let's go back to the start. Rolled Syracuse at Syracuse, rolled Louisville, rolled Virginia Tech, rolled NC State, beat Carolina at Carolina, stomped Pitt, carried Miami and Virginia back-to-back games. They beat everyone good in the ACC in the last few weeks.
It's so
This
annoying.
team definitely hitting their stride.
They were dead. They were dead.
They were dead.
They came crawling back. At least there's no Coach K, but the Duke fans are so unlikable that it's such a pain.
Of course, they have to have a big white guy, Kyle Filipowski.
Oh, of course. It's not a Duke
But it just
team
like
without him.
adds to it.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
I had to spam in the comments. What happened? So, all right. So he said, "How do you feel about Duke?" I'm a little bit worried about Duke. I have them in my Elite Eight.
I also have them.
He
in the
also
Elite Eight.
said, "Purdue."
Yep.
He beat by Purdue.
Yep, I got him beat by Purdue.
Um,
Oh, I guess that's not Elite
And
Eight.
what
Sorry,
happened-
that's Sweet 16.
Sweet 16. We were at the casino the other night and we bet on UAB to beat FAU. And FAU absolutely steamrolled them. It's a horrible game. So for that, I like FAU, I guess. Although I picked Memphis to win. Backtracking. Tennessee. I don't know. They probably don't lose in the first round, but I don't trust them at all.
No, they won't lose to the Raging Cajuns, but if they face Duke in the next round, they will be losing. I
think they can get blown out even.
By Duke. Yeah. I can see that too. They had a pretty good regular season, but it's Tennessee. Like it's what's gonna happen. They are gonna have
Rick
a terrible
Barnes doesn't make
loss.
the Sweet 16.
No, and they're just gonna have
This
some
doesn't
terrible loss that is unforeseen. So I'm excited to see how they lose. I really am.
They like limped into the tournament too.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
lost a lot of their conference games down the stretch. They lost to Missouri in the tournament, and I think their point guard is hurt.
Yeah, he
Ty
is.
Ziegler.
Yep, Ty Ziegler's out for the year, so it's pretty rough on them too.
Oh, sorry, Tennessee. Again, not your year.
Never will be. This
No,
Kentucky
it
Providence.
never will be.
Kentucky Providence, I'm really
It's an
excited
interesting
for,
one.
and I'm excited. Providence, I have Providence winning.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I think Kentucky, they got a little hot right at the end of the season, squeaked their way into the tournament, and I think Providence is gonna show them what's up.
There's something about Kentucky that I like, and I don't know what it is. It's just like those teams that are like blue bloods and have the talent, then get into the tournament as low seeds, like Duke as a 5, Kentucky as a 6, Creighton as a 6. scare me. Is I've seen like Kentucky went to the championship as an 8 seed. Carolina went to the championship as an 8 seed last year. This feels like a team that might make a run. They could also get blown out in the first round like they did last year. I guess they didn't get blown out, but like maybe this Kentucky team just doesn't have it for the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
They also
Another
lost to
team,
you guys.
another team that lost to South Carolina. So that's just gonna get me in a bias that they're
I
not
don't
gonna
know
make
if I
it there.
trust that.
Yeah.
But I don't really know. I just see Kentucky and
In
pick.
circle it. Yeah.
Also, Providence's coach Ed Cooley might be going to Georgetown.
Really.
Whatever that's worth.
They got a Devon Carter, who was another Gamecock. He's been lighting it up whenever they have a big win. So I like that. Kansas State, Montana State. You know anything about either of these teams?
Nope.
Neither do I.
I have Kansas State getting beat by Kentucky.
Okay, I have Kansas State losing to Providence. All right, Michigan State, USC. I heard USC is a pretty big sleeper for this.
I've heard that too, and I've watched Michigan State, and they are not impressive. But it's also Michigan State in March.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Izzo is like that guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I just I don't like Michigan State. I don't think they're very good. Joey Hauser can shoot threes. Other than that, they don't scare me whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm picking USC there. And Marquette and Vermont. I think Marquette's a good team. I'm taking Marquette.
I have Marquette coming out of this region.
I have Purdue. I kind of want to lean Duke, which sucks. But for right now, I have Purdue.
I don't know what it is about Marquette. There's this guy on Twitter that I follow who covers the Big East. He said that Marquette was Final Four good. Picked him to make the Final Four, and I think that's why. I just I see the path because I have them getting Michigan State in the second round, which I'm not too worried about. I have Kentucky beating Kansas State, and they play Marquette, so they're playing another low seed, and then they play Duke. They never have to face a 1, 2, 3, or 4 seed in my bracket. It just kind of worked out that way, I guess. They also finished, I think they only lost 6 games the whole year.
Yeah, they
good
were good.
Big East.
They were good.
They played Purdue tough at the start of the year.
Played
Barely
UConn
lost
tough.
to Mississippi State. Yeah, they beat UConn.
Yep, beat them twice.
Home. They lost on the road. And yeah, right. They beat them in the tournament. Won the Big East tournament, so they are battle tested. They're just winners.
Yeah, they are. They're a good team.
I don't know about their defense, but I like Tyler Kolak.
All right, the West.
Let me pull my back up. Kansas. I don't know, I don't know what to think about Kansas. Just because it's a completely different team than last year. And they kept losing to Texas. Didn't win their conference. They usually do. But
I think they're frauds.
I don't know. I think they're frauds.
I have them losing to Arkansas in the next round.
Oh, boy.
I love this Arkansas team. I'm a big fan of this Arkansas team.
Yeah, Arkansas, Illinois. This is kind of similar teams. I think Arkansas has a lot more talent, but both were supposed to be better this year. Illinois has Terrence Shannon, who's one of the best players in the Big Ten. They kind of hit that stretch midway through the season and then got knocked down to an 8 seed. But that'll be an exciting game. I have Arkansas beating them.
Yep, I do as well. I like this Arkansas. They were highly projected to start the season. They had a couple hiccups in the middle of the season, but they play good basketball, and they have a lot of NBA lottery picks on the team.
Eesh, they finished 8 and 10 in SEC play. Very good.
No, it's not great. But they played Alabama tough. They've had a couple good wins, and I just like the guys on the floor. So hopefully that comes in.
They have a couple 5 stars.
Oh yeah.
What do we got next? St. Mary's VCU. Can never get VCU out of my head. That one year that they beat Kansas, I took
Yeah.
VCU to win.
Yep. VCU has like that
and then-
little infinite, like it's got the worrisome behind your back like that.
Yeah. And then obviously I took UConn. UConn's really good.
UConn's going to the Final Four.
They were another one. They were another one that had like they lost 5 or 6 conference games back in January, which kind of knocked them down. Like were they number 1 at one point?
They were number 2, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, this is a really, really good UConn team,
I have them winning it all.
and I think people might have forgotten.
just
yeah.
to throw it out there. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world.
I have bias, and every time I can sneak them in there, whenever we're doing the March Madness brackets, I do. So that's why.
Yeah.
Tough loss to Marquette in the Big East tournament. They had some trouble in the middle of the season, as you said, with a couple of the Big East games, but I can't get out of my head the dominance at the beginning. They beat Alabama pretty handily.
I smoked them.
Yeah, so I think they can definitely. I mean, of course, I think that they can make some noise. They can go all the way.
Okay. Moving on. TCU, Arizona State, Nevada. I don't know. I don't know about this
I don't know
game.
either.
I think whoever wins loses to Gonzaga.
Yeah,
But Grand
Gonzaga's another
Canyon's kind
one.
of feisty.
Gonzaga's another one though that is like it's the name behind it. Really, they haven't had a great year, but yeah, I'm just scared to see Gonzaga out there.
Find the over-under for the Gonzaga game because both these teams just chuck. 156.5 over. And Canyon overs are like 25-8 or something.
Damn.
This year I saw. So take the over in that game. That's all the analysis I have.
James Bradbury
Northwestern.
back to the Eagles. Sorry.
Oh, really?
Yep. So they got
Gotcha.
James Bradbury back.
I also saw that Darius Slay might request a trade.
Yes, I did see that too.
So
He
they were
said-
exploring.
Yeah, and he said I think he just wants another contract because came out and was like,
Yeah.
oh, there's nothing against the Eagles. I just want a better contract.
Right. But see what happens there. What are we looking at? Northwestern, Boise State.
Northwestern's my
Northwestern
team
has
right now.
Boo Buie.
They
Boo
'cause I-
Buie,
what?
point guard.
Yeah. That,
Buie.
that's why
I
I
say.
just keep seeing them getting wins, rattling off. They're another hot team right now, so I'm riding with the hot hand. I have them upsetting UCLA.
Yeah,
in the next
I don't
game.
know. Oh no, UCLA in my Final Four.
Really? I don't know anything about the UCLA team, so
So I watched UCLA play, and let me tell you firsthand,
Oh,
that's a good ass team.
because they whooped Maryland.
It ran well, and in all fairness, Maryland lost one home game this year.
Yeah.
A lot of them weren't close. Like they were blowing teams out. They beat a lot of good teams. They rolled Purdue. They ended up beating Indiana by more than 10. They rolled Northwestern. Like they were a legit like top team in the country when they were at home. On the road and neutral site is a different story. The only team that beat them was UCLA. It was they kicked the shit out of them. This is a really good UCLA team, and I know that was a long time ago. No, it's just one game. They were 2 in KenPom. They went 29-5 this year. They played in a fairly easy Pac-12. All fairness, but like 2 of their 5 losses are at the very beginning of the year against Illinois and Baylor. Like those are not bad losses. Lost at Arizona, at USC, and then Arizona again in the championship. That was a 1-score game. So this team is the real deal. The only thing that worries me is that Jalen Clark is out. He was one of their starting guards. He was like probably the best defender in the Pac-12. So that sucks. They're still incredibly talented. Jaime Jaquez was, I think, 2nd-team All-American. So I've been on UCLA kind of since they played Maryland. So that's why I have them in my Final Four.
They have 2 separate winning streaks this year of 14 and 12 games. So they can get hot
That's
and
pretty
keep
wild.
it up.
All right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Final four. You got.
So I have Virginia and Purdue on the left side. It's
Rematch from a couple years ago.
Yep. I
St.
have
Edwards.
Virginia winning that side, and then I have Texas and UConn in the other side of the Final Four. And then I already spoiled it. I have UConn over Virginia. 2 4 seeds. I hate filling out the bracket and seeing 1 and 2 seeds on both sides because
Yeah.
it's never how it works out. It's never how it happens. But I can definitely see Alabama messing up my bracket big time, and Purdue messing up my bracket pretty early.
I have Alabama and Marquette. I have Marquette winning that game. Just because I don't want to see Bama. I have Texas and UCLA. I have Texas winning that game. I have Marquette winning the title.
Nice. I like that pick.
Just because, and I don't know how it worked out, and I hate it now. Because I saw on Twitter, Ken Palm tweeted, he's like, out of all the teams get a 1 or a 2 seed that were not ranked at the start of the year, there have been only a couple Sweet 16s, no Final Fours. This year, those teams are Purdue and Marquette. I was like, oh my god, me get beat in the second round by Michigan State. But I'm I already did it. I'm not gonna. I've a crisis internally. Do I go back on it? I'm not going back on it. I'm keeping it. That was the path that I saw. So it would also be something new. It was Marquette's never gone that far in the tournament, have they?
I don't think so.
Oh, I don't know. It would be exciting.
It would be. I also
smart.
When I'm filling this out, it's a complete, second guessing every decision, every pick.
Yeah.
And when you look back on it, you always oh, I could change this here, and it's you just got to ride with it. No one actually knows.
That's right.
What is going on? So we'll see.
Yeah, it's just fun to do. UCLA is my alternate national title pick, even though I have them losing to Texas for some reason. I got really excited about Texas. I've placed the bet's already in. I've already bet Marquette to win. I also bet UCLA to win. I parlayed my Final Four picks. It's I had $2 left in my account, and I bet $2 to win $600. The correct Final Four.
There you go.
Maybe this is the year.
By the way, just before we close out, Rodgers will apparently be on the Pat McAfee show tomorrow at 1 p.m. I hope he retires.
That would be so funny.
I hope he just goes. And
that would be so funny. Oh my gosh. And Rodgers has the Jets in a headlock.
Yeah, and then just makes them agents and then completely just screws them over. All right. Well, that was a mix of NFL free agency. What's up?
Hey.
I guess that's a sign to wrap it up.
Seriously.
So luckily we didn't have any internet problems throughout the whole thing. This was the only one. And thank you all for listening. That was March Madness, the whole bracket breaking down, and the NFL free agency, the start of it, and hopefully we get some more fun signings and some fun trades. Any
before we go?
Yeah, any last points?
Our bracket challenge is posted on ESPN.
Yes.
We'll post again about it. You can find the link on Twitter. If you were in it last year, I think
it's the same
option
group.
will just pop up to join.
Yeah.
So yeah, same group. We already have 20 plus people signed up. Joining prize is a T-shirt.
Yeah, no
entry
buy-in.
fee. No reason not to join. So see if you can beat us. It's probably not that hard. Because for all the analysis that we just gave you, my bracket will be shot within probably 4 hours on Thursday.
Yeah.
When Marquette gets beat by Vermont. So it's not hard. Not hard to sign up. no reason not to do it. Maybe you'll win a T-shirt.
Yeah.
That's all the last thing I got.
Well, that's a great way to end it. Hope you all enjoyed. It's good to be back. We're going to be back on our regular schedule. Not going to be another week, so don't worry about that. And
Going to Cancun next week.
oh yeah, that's true. Well, we could figure that out because I don't know. Maybe we could sneak one in at Cancun, live from Cancun. That'd be kind of fun.
Live from Cancun.
Well, again, thank you all for listening. We'll see everybody on Friday. We're going to be talking about March Madness, any other NFL pickups we need, and that does it for this pod. So we'll see everybody on Friday.